Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another breakfast with Blaha. And today I'm having Greek yogurt and almond butter, and let's talk about that. All right, I see all the time in the comments, people will see me eating this stuff, and they will say things like, "Man, Jason, you sure eat a lot of yogurt, or you eat a lot of meat." And they act like it's something rare, and you have to look back. And here's what I'm going to say to those people: the fact that you think that I eat a lot of high protein foods, that it's enough to comment on, is probably why you are a tiny, weak piece of shit. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why. Because you guys are eating 50 grams of protein a day. Because people see the yogurt, like let's say the days where you see me eating that giant amount of yogurt here. How much protein do you think is in that? Well, if I have this bowl filled all the way to the top and with a little bit of nut butter and stuff in it, how much protein do you think's in there? 75 grams, 80 grams? And you think that 80 grams of protein is a lot. People will say something like, I couldn't eat that much. You're telling me you can't eat 80 grams of protein? Most of these bowls, when I make one of these, have, 6 to 800 calories in them, about 80 grams of protein. Do the math on that. Let's say you did that for 3 meals a day. I'm not saying that exact meal because I don't always eat this. This is not necessarily what I would eat in the evening. Okay, it's 800 calories with 80 grams of protein, 3 times a day. That's only 2,400 calories. 2,400 calories. Hey, how much protein is that? Well, 80 times 3, about 240. A lot of guys are out here, they're like, well, I try to get at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I don't think you need that. But that is a little over what that is. I'm weighing, like 217 to 220 right now. So if I were eating 240 grams of protein, that would be just over 1 gram per pound of body weight. 2,400 calories is extremely low for me. So basically, you guys who are looking at it and saying that, you're telling me that you couldn't eat 3 meals a day. Because you say, I couldn't eat that. Oh my God, I'd be sick. Are you like 130 pounds? Actually, strike that, because I know women who lift who are 130 pounds who eat that much. Who eat 2,400 calories in a day. They eat 3 800 calorie meals. You're telling me you can't keep up with 130-pound women as a man? Like, I hear this stuff when people say these things about what I eat, and I realize this is why guys struggle to get big. And I see this as a coach because I tend to get noob Hardgainers. All right, that's a pretty good little chunk of my client base. I get a big chunk of intermediates, big chunk of advanced lifters. Another equal-sized demographic I get are skinny Hardgainers who can't eat. And now that I've dealt with them, I realize this is why so many guys struggle to get big. No one who's ever been fat struggles to put on muscle. You guys notice that? Anyone who's been fat, they've been 300 pounds, even 250, they lose weight, they get down under 200 pounds and then start lifting hard, try to put on muscle. They don't ever have a problem getting big. Do you know why? Because they can eat. They've already proven they can eat. Because to be honest, the amount of calories it takes a sedentary person to get to 300 pounds is probably the same amount of calories it's going to take a really active person who is lifting and doing conditioning work to be 200. Probably the same amount of calories. They know how to eat. So you guys who make these silly statements, you're making these statements, and I interpret it as you're a really skinny, weak guy who can't put on muscle. And I know that because you actually think 800 calories with 80 grams of protein in it is some insane amount of food. And here's the other thing. People see me eat these high protein foods. Where in the lifting world has that ever been rare? What is every single person you follow on YouTube? My actual protein recommendations are lower than theirs. How many guys on YouTube are like, oh, you need to eat 1 gram per pound of body weight, 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. Hell, Jim Stepani, 2 grams per pound of body weight. Well, if you're up to 200 pounds, what's the math on that? That means at least 200 grams for the guy saying 1, at least 300 for the other. Stefani would have you eating 400 plus grams of protein. Do you guys understand what you would have to eat to reach those numbers? One of those big tubs of Greek yogurt that I get these from, that 3-pound tub of Greek yogurt has 155 grams of protein. And it is mostly protein. That is an ultra high protein food. It is something like 70% protein by calorie. Okay, lean steak and some chicken is in that range. Actually, some chicken is lower. All right, like chicken thighs and sirloin steak are in that same range. It's only 155 grams in that giant container. Same thing with meat. A 1-pound flank steak or a 1 pound of chicken breast is only 100 grams of protein. So if you guys sit down and you see me in my video with a pound of steak with some vegetables sitting in my thing, that's a lot of meat. It's 100 grams of protein. It's only 100 grams of protein. If you follow half of the YouTubers out there, you should be eating 300 grams, and I don't think you should. Well, you would need to eat 3 of those steaks every day. That yogurt, you would need to eat 2 of those full containers every day. So what in the hell are you guys eating? Like, if you guys think that that's a lot of meat or a lot of yogurt, what in the holy hell are you eating? Do you not eat protein? I think you don't. And again, guys wonder why they're not getting bigger. Like, well, I'm training hard. You considered you're not eating enough? I mean, and if you make comments like that, I know you're not eating enough. Like, if you actually see that and say, I couldn't do that, well, good luck getting to 200 pounds as a lifter. That's not going to happen. Right? I know this has been a bit of a rant, but it's something that needs to be said because people get ridiculous with this stuff. They get ridiculous with this. Right? Because for me to eat 2 pounds of lean meat in a day, if I'm not eating yogurt, my baseline is 2 pounds of lean meat. Whether it's steak or chicken or whatever. That's baseline. Okay? It's not extreme. And I'm on the lower end of protein recommendations in the lifting world. Like, I recommend less than most people do. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.